Welcome to Credentialed Coach School, the podcast designed to prepare your mind, body, and soul for a dreamy coaching business. I'm your host, Amanda Bybel, founder of the Inner Beauty Bybel and Credentialed Coach School. Each week, I'll share strategies to elevate your coaching career and to chat with successful entrepreneurs on what it really takes to grow your thriving coaching business. Take a deep breath and let's get started on building your dream business. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back. Sorry, if you listen to me sing on a daily basis like my kids do, literally they sit in the backseat of the car and they're like, "Mommy, no singing. Stop. Mommy, no." I think I sound amazing, but who knows? According to Julian and according to Cameron, they'd rather not listen to me sing or watch me dance, which is totally understandable. If we ask Brett, he does not want to see me twerk. But anyway, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Credentialed Coach School. I am so excited to have you here with me again today. Again, if you are new to the show, I'm Amanda, founder of the Inner Beauty Bybel and Credentialed Coach School. And today we're going to be diving into a topic that hits close to home for so many new coaches. Imposter syndrome. Oh, yes, that nagging, dreaded voice that says, "Who am I to be doing this?" So today we're going to be tackling this head on. But first, I want to let you know that the feeling of imposter when you're first starting out is absolutely completely normal. Okay. Almost every single coach, no matter how successful they are now, has dealt with some kind of imposter syndrome at some point. The key is to not let it stop you from pursuing your passion and your purpose. Okay. So let's explore some strategies to handle imposter syndrome and to build that rock solid foundation in your coaching career. So the first thing I want to recommend is really honing in on refining your skill set. So when you're just starting out, it's really important to dig into and hone in on your skill set. This doesn't just help you feel more confident, it actually ensures that you're providing the best service ever to your clients. So at Credentialed Coach School, we place a huge emphasis on developing a really strong foundation in your coaching acumen and really understanding the ethics of coaching, because this part is super sexy. It brings things into the simplicity of coaching, and simple equals sexy. It's not just about understanding boring rules or any of that stuff. It's about the foundation of being a credible coach and allowing you to be an out of this world space holder for your clients who wholeheartedly want to experience transformation when they're working with you. So ethics are literally the heart of coaching. So ethics matter because these are about putting pillars in place. They're about emerging as a coach who is from a place, who is coming from a place of integrity, who is coming from a place of trust. And when your clients feel safe enough to bare their souls to you, that's where the real magic happens. So establishing this rock solid foundation in coaching ethics and integrity is an absolute non-negotiable. So inside of the Credentialed Coach School, we explore the intricacies of the coach-client relationship, learning how to navigate coaching scenarios with confidence and care. And you'll dive into the core principles of ethical coaching, including confidentiality, boundaries, power dynamics, and you'll gain a comprehensive understanding of the ICF core competencies and how to apply them effectively inside of your coaching practice. So this is really going to set that stage of trust and transformative work. So really understanding all of this as a core piece of your coaching practice and learning it, understanding it, and embodying it is going to allow you to instantly get rid of that imposter syndrome and replace it with the idea of like, I know what the F I'm doing. The next step is really envisioning your coach identity. So envisioning your coach identity is really about gaining that crystal clear clarity that allows you to stand out like a shining star in a really crowded market. And this is going to be the thing that allows you to effortlessly attract your clients who resonate with your unique approach. So When you're envisioning your coaching identity, I want you to think of like, what is it that you're good at? What is it that you're naturally drawn to? What is it that you're naturally drawing people to you for? What are some of the things that you find yourself talking about all of the time? So, really understanding your place in the coaching industry so that it aligns with something that you're already really good at is going to be another thing that is going to completely blast imposter syndrome. Because maybe right now you're not playing up to your full potential, but you're in a place that you are absolutely ready to change that. So if you connect with your heart and soul of who you are at your core, this is going to be the driving force that answers that call to be a coach. So uncovering exactly who you are, how you show up in your dream life, because it's time to stop dreaming about it and start living it. So, really honing in on where your professional and personal strengths intersect and how this really sets you apart from the crowd, and really diving deep into your motivations, why you started this business to begin with, your strengths, what you're really, really good at, your philosophy, what you stand for, your distinctive coaching approach, and letting your wildest dreams and your unique mission be your true north as you design your ideal coaching business. This will allow you to really stand up and say, like, this is how I'm answering my calling to be a coach because I know that this is what I'm meant to do. And the next step is embodying the change, right? So, first step, foundation. Second is envisioning who you are. And the third is embodying the change. This is where the real transformation happens. This is about embracing your true, unique coaching identity on your terms and integrating your newfound clarity of the highest version of you, embodying that version to be in total integrity. Because at the end of the day, you can preach all you want, but if you're not practicing what you preach, if you're not a living, breathing example for what you stand for, no one's going to be trusting you. And that's going to be a really fast way to spark that imposter syndrome and to completely repels the clients that you really want to work with. And it's also going to be the thing that repels your dream reality and your dream coaching business. So, stepping into the role of a transformational leader in your field by honing in on your skill set, by practicing what you preach, is really going to be the thing that inspires change with other people as well. So, implementing practices and rituals that align with your envisioned identity, bringing your someday dreams into today's reality, all of these really solid rituals that solidify your confidence and presence as a coach is a really, really quick way to handle that imposter syndrome. So, let's circle back to handling that imposter syndrome specifically. Okay. So, the three tactical takeaways to help you overcome it are number one, continuous learning, skill refinement. So, in the early days of my coaching journey, I spent countless hours really honing in on my skill set. I remember feeling super overwhelmed by all of the information out there and really doubting my ability to absorb it all. But I made a commitment to myself to learn something new every day and to implement something new every day, whether it was reading a chapter from the coaching book or attending a workshop or practicing with someone near and dear to me. I really just kept pushing forward and practicing my skill set. So, this continuous learning and the continuous practice allowed me to provide better value for my clients because I was feeling even more confident in my ability to hold space for them. So, continuous learning, skill refinement, we offer all of this inside of the credentialed coach school. The second tactical takeaway that I would 10 out of 10 recommend is building a support network. So, when I first started my coaching journey, I felt really isolated. Like, I felt like nobody really understood what it was that I was doing. I come from a background where I had a really successful corporate job. And from the outside looking in, like everything looked super amazing, picture perfect. And I felt really guilty for wanting more because I didn't know anybody else that was chasing their dreams in a way that I desired to. And, you know, what I realized really quick is that it wasn't for anybody else to understand my big goals and dreams because it wasn't for them to make sense of. It was for me. And if it made sense to me, that's when it all started to fall into place. So when I started sharing about my struggles in a network of people who understood what I was experiencing and hearing other people's experience, like this was all such a big game changer because I realized I wasn't alone and that even the most successful coaches had been where I was at one point. Because if you think about it, every successful entrepreneur and every successful coach had their day one. Had to make their first dollar, had to take their first step, had to put their posts online for the first time and the second time and the third time. And, it's not easy, especially if like people in your immediate network aren't building businesses and they aren't chasing really, really big dreams. I actually call non-entrepreneurs earthlings because they don't understand. And I have always had these like huge dreams of changing the world. And there's a quote by Steve Jobs that's basically like, if you're crazy enough to think that you can change the world, you probably will. And it's something to that iteration. I don't know what it is exactly, but it's like it's something like that. But basically, like people who don't get it aren't meant to. So finding a support network, whether it's through a coaching community that we offer inside of Credentialed Coach School, we have a Slack community where like all of our students are engaged there all the time with also like daily support from our coaches and our staff coaches. Joining online forums or mentorship, all of this stuff is super invaluable because these connections can offer you advice, encouragement, and an occasional reality check. Because sometimes for me, like I need an occasional reality check, whether it's like your goals aren't big enough or like let's take it back a notch and like take the first step in order to start to see the momentum. And the third takeaway that I want to share with you today is really just celebrating the small wins because the small wins are the things that begin to add up to the big wins. It's like I shared just now, we all need to have our day one, our first post, our first client, our first dollar, the first time we share that we're starting our coaching business, the first time we attend a call, the first call that we ever have. There's always going to be a number one the first time we do it. So celebrating those small wins are actually the things that really add up to the big wins because early in my career, I started to get like I remember feeling so nervous, but now that I look back, it's like all of those steps that I had taken that really leaned outside of my comfort zone, that pushed me past my limits. Those are the wins that allowed me to celebrate the really big moments in my career too, because I would have never hit six figures, seven figures without dollar number one, without client number one, without that first time where I announced my coaching business, right? So celebrating these moments, no matter how big or how small that they seem, will reinforce your belief in your abilities and keep you consistent, right? So keep a journal of your success, revisit it whenever you start to feel self-doubt or any of that stuff starts to creep in because these small victories add up and they remind you of the reason why you started to begin with. So when I first launched Inner Beauty Bybel, I was absolutely terrified because I had this vision, but also a ton of self-doubt. I remember the first time I was about to go live on Instagram and I literally felt like I was about to puke. Like every bodily function was about to happen at that time. And I remember my voice was shaking. I was literally sweating. I think I probably cried a little bit. I was probably snotting and all the things. But thinking about the reason why I wanted to start this to begin with was because I really, really wanted to provide impact and I wanted to share all of my life experience and all of the things that I wanted to support people with. Like I wanted to share that with the world. And the only way for you to make the impact that you desire is to lean outside of your comfort zone and to lean into that overwhelm, to lean into that imposter syndrome, like that voice that says, who am I to teach these people? But remember, your training, your support, all of the successes that you've had up until this point, you've literally been through every single hard thing up until this point. So focus on the value, focus on what you want to provide to the people who you're sharing with, focus on the impact that you want to make. Because at the end of the day, when you focus on the success and you focus on all of the wins that the people who want to hear from you the most are going to experience, experience through hearing your story, that's going to help you connect back to the mission as far as why you started to begin with. So handling imposter syndrome is a journey, right? But with the right foundation and the right mindset, you can overcome it. It's one step at a time, one day at a time. And that's going to be the thing that allows you to thrive as a coach, is to just keep showing up, remain consistent, share your story, because the people who need to hear you most are going to genuinely feel inspired with every single time you show up. Because remember, you're here for a reason and the world needs your unique gifts. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you love this episode, please subscribe. Please leave me a 5-star review. Share it with a friend who might need to hear it. And until next time, remember, keep shining, keep believing in yourself, and you are you. And that is your superpower. Thank you so much for listening to Credentialed Coach School podcast. If you like today's show, please give us a 5-star review and tell us what resonated most with you. This helps me to continue to create content that you love and find supportive.